come to you as well on where you see the funding gaps. When we're talking about the AI story here in India, it's all very well to say that it's tech overseas, built on Indian HR resources, but the truth of the matter is there are ideas here. They just require the right support, the right funding, the right capital infusion. Do you see enough of that coming in, or are there certain segments, whether it's data processing, compute, etc., where you feel perhaps the funding gaps are?
So I'll kind of speak at this from a slightly different view. You will hear about VC funding gaps or angel funding gaps or at a later stage private equity funding gap. I think the number one biggest funding gap in India vis-a-vis AI is funding research. We do not have any fundamental research worth its name happening in AI across the country, whether from the corporate ecosystem, whether even from the university ecosystem. And if you look at, how the open AIs of the world have been created, or how the, Google's, Google Brain, etc., DeepMind, etc., have gotten created, all of them have gotten created because of researchers. And the single most highly paid, Mark Zuckerberg dangling $100 million bonuses, was not really to entrepreneurs, was not to corporate executives, not to CEOs, but to basic AI researchers. Researchers, my friends, build AI, and we severely lack in that. And I think while everyone through the day has talked about funding gaps and all the other things that you mentioned, to me, this is the most critical funding gap that we have in this country.
A lot has been said in terms of how AI can actually become a growth engine. AI becoming a growth engine, a lot has been said about that. We'd like to get into your views on that to understand how it can actually propel the whole growth story.
Yeah, I think firstly, I belong to this company called Gnani.ai, and we've been in this AI business, I guess, before this whole AI thing became fashionable, if I can say so. And when we started, I think deep tech was a bad word, right? So today, if you look at it, firstly from a corporate sense, I think very clearly Indian corporates are at the forefront of AI adoption. Right? It's surprising to a lot of people, but you just need to look at the stats of any global enterprise platform on AI, and you'll see that usage by Indians and by Indian corporates is often as high as 30 to 40%. So the adoption of AI is just simply incredible by Indian enterprises, right? And we are going to see a lot more adoption in terms of government and various other things going forward. So very clearly, India is the place where a lot of innovation is happening, especially in terms of using AI to solve problems in industry, problems with consumers, so on and so forth, right? It's no surprise that a lot of global entities which never looked at us, take the open AIs of the world and others, are looking to set up offices in India and starting to even hire in India folks like solution experts. So it's really not surprising because the adoption of AI and the growth in terms of users, in terms of tokens consumed to solve problems is incredible. And what are we all doing, and what are we all using AI for, right? The first and foremost thing that all of us are looking to use AI is how do we communicate with Bharat, right? And the best way to communicate with Bharat, we know that is through channels like voice, where you can humanize the conversation and where you can converse to people in the languages that they are more comfortable in. And AI is playing an incredible role in that, right? The kind of volumes that we are seeing, in terms of human-machine interactions, especially with telephony and other channels where you can reach the real Bharat, is quite incredible. Talk about, a few million conversations with Bharat on a daily basis, right? So India is on its way, as a growth engine for AI, and we are often, the place where a lot of these innovations are currently happening.